So I'm sure the saying, God works in mysterious ways, is pretty familiar to you all. I know growing up I heard it a lot from my parents. When I would go up to them and I'd be griping about something, I'd be like, oh my gosh, this is so horrible. I just don't know why this is happening to me. And then my mom would look at me and she'd, put a hand on her hip and be like, well, God works in mysterious ways. And I remember being so frustrated by that phrase when I was younger because I was like, that's not real advice. That's not going to help me with my situation. That's not going to make this thing that I'm going through be any less difficult or frustrating. But really, I'd like to argue that that's some of the best advice that we can receive. Whenever someone says that, what we're basically saying is, I don't know what's going on right now. I don't know where God is working in this, but I know that he's working in it, and I know that he's good. Now, y'all can't tell me this isn't good advice, because I promise you have seen it play out before. Maybe in your own life, the life of someone you know, global, national scale. Things just happen sometimes, and it's like at the moment you do not know how to explain it. And then it turns out that God was working through it the whole time for good. Maybe you don't know a real life example of this, but we see it in the scriptures. A great example is the book of Esther. See, in the book of Esther, all of these events transpire that look like things are just going to go entirely wrong. The king of Persia wants to entirely eradicate the Jewish people. But God made it so that Esther was in the right place at the right time so that she could save an entire nation. That's insane. That is God working in mysterious ways and working behind the scenes for the good of those who love him. Of course, we don't have the time to walk through the entirety of the book of Esther, but I would encourage you guys to maybe go through on your own and try to pinpoint the places in the story where God's fingerprints are totally all over the events. And you're like, yeah, God is in all of this, but his name isn't even mentioned in it. And to kind of get a little bit meta in this, that's what's happening in our world right now. We have all these officials, reporters, doctors, what have you, on the news talking about data that doesn't feel very hopeful, giving us news reports that doesn't feel like it's good news. And they're not mentioning God in any of it, Think about the people that are in all these cities that are being affected by this virus. Think of, your neighbors and the people who are governing our state. There's not a lot of hope going on. But, I know, we all know that God is good and that he is working in the midst of it. Even if people aren't talking about how he's working in it, God works in mysterious ways, And he works for the good of those who love him. He's working for your good. He's working for the good of your circumstance, for your family, for the world. And so we can lean into that and press into the hope that our faith gives us. That, God is not some laissez-faire, step back, you guys figure it out kind of father, but he's a good father. There's this quote from Christian scholar Max Lucado, and it says, "The solution is not to avoid trouble, but to change the way that we see our troubles." So as you go through this week, I hope that y'all can meditate on that truth that even though you don't understand what God is doing, but that he's doing something for you. He's working for your good. So thanks for tuning in and being awesome. I hope that y'all found some hope in this little message devotional. Write down below in the comments if you what thoughts you have on this. If you have any prayer requests, we'd love to connect with you guys about that. And yeah, we love you all. We're so thankful for you guys, and I hope you have an awesome week.